Hi students, welcome back to my YouTube channel RSK Competitive World. Students, today we are going to study about the op-amp parameters. In the previous case we studied what is operational amplifier, and now you have op-amp parameters. Some parameters are there, how to give the inputs, then what happens in the amplifier, means in the op-amp, then how we will get the outputs. So one by one we will study the parameters. The first parameter is input offset voltage, op-amp. So input offset voltage is the voltage applied at the input terminals of the op-amp. This is the op-amp now you see in the figure. So whatever we are given to this op-amp, we are giving the input. So that input is what? Of input offset voltage, means which applied at the input terminal of the op-amp to make the output is a 0. To make output 0. When we applying the input, that time we have to get the 0 output, and that is the input is in the form of millivolts. Whatever we have to give the input, that is in the millivolt, then we will get the output is as a 0. This is known as input offset voltage of an op-amp. It must be 0 output, and the in the form of millivoltage we have to give the inputs to the op-amp. So this is the input offset voltage. Next one, input offset current of an op-amp. This is voltage and this is current of an op-amp. Offset current is defined as the difference of a bias currents entering the input terminals of the op-amp. Means bias currents means here we are giving the differential voltages, means what? So V1 and V2. Okay, this is the difference between these two bias current is given to the op-amp. So these currents are in the order of how much? Nano amperes. Let I1 and I2 be the currents entering the input terminal of an op-amp. The input bias current is given by what? Input bias current is equal to I1 minus I2. So this is the input currents of a op-amp. Whatever we have to give the input as a voltage, that is what? A input offset voltage, when the output should be 0. And input offset current means what? The difference between these two, whatever the currents, the difference between the inputs we are using, that is the bias current that is entering into the input terminals of the op-amp, that is known as a input offset current. So the next one, input bias current of an op-amp. Whatever the input bias is using in the previous case, no, input offset current, that we have to define here. Input bias current is defined as what? A average of an current entering the input terminals of an op-amp. What average means? I1 and I2 are the two current inputs, and here we have to take the average of this bias current. Average of this current means I1 plus I2 divided by 2. So this average of the current to the input, means to the op-amp, input terminal of the op-amp, is known as a input bias current of an op-amp. We have to take the average of this one. Then these are of the order of how much? These also in the nano amperes, current in nano amperes. I1 and I2 be the currents entering into the input of an op-amp. Then input bias current is given by average of I1 and I2. So the next one, output offset voltage of an op-amp. What is output offset voltage? In input offset voltage, there will be a, whatever the input is given, that the output must be 0. So what about here? Output offset voltage is defined as the op-amp output voltage when both the input terminal voltages of an op-amp is grounded. Universal balancing techniques with potentiometers are often used to balance the offset voltage. Here we have to use the potentiometer to maintain the voltages and currents. So here, what is output offset voltage? It is defined as the output voltage when both we have to get the output here. If you say output Y, then input must be connected to the ground. Input must be connected to the ground. This is known as a output offset. That time you will get the output, no, that is what a output offset voltage is. The next parameter is CMRR of a op-amp. CMRR means common mode rejection ratio. It is a common mode rejection ratio which is used to quantify how good the differential amplifier is. Differential amplifier means we have to give the two inputs to the amplifier. Then differential amplifier means the difference between the two inputs. So how it will works, how good the differential amplifier is works, that is what a common mode rejection ratio. If you say V1 is equal to V1D plus Vn and V2 is equal to V2D plus Vn, these are what input signals. Then the differential voltage is given by V1D minus V2D. Difference between these two, you will get a Vn get cancels. This Vn is what about signal voltage. So the difference between these voltages is given by V1D minus V2D, and Vn is the common input signal, that is. Then the common mode rejection ratio of an differential amplifier is defined as the ratio of differential voltage gain, that is what differential voltage gain means, AD. Differential gain is A, then this is for differential AD, the ratio of differential voltage gain AD to the common mode gain. Common mode gain means ACM. This is common mode and this is gain, common mode gain. So CMRR is given by common mode rejection ratio is given by the ratio of differential voltage gain to its common mode gain. So this is the CMRR of a op-amp. The next one is the large signal voltage gain. The ratio of output voltage to the differential input voltage is called as a large signal voltage gain. So gain is given by A. So this is what a output voltage, the ratio of output voltage to its differential input voltages. Whatever you will get output divided by differential input voltages, V1 minus V2 or V2 minus V1. This is the large signal voltage gain. Whatever you will get, no, that you have to calculate the gain. Then you should calculate output divided by differential input voltages values. Then you will get the large signal voltage gain is how much. Next one is the slew rate of an op-amp. So it is what? It is a maximum rate at which the output can change in an op-amp. When the output will be changing, when there is a change in inputs, then only we have to change the output. It is one of the major limitation in an op-amp. Why this is a limitation means here we will not get a linear curve. Okay. So this is about some limitations having a op-amp. So it is expressed in volt per second. The output gets distorted if the rate at which the output changes exceeds the slew rate. If it goes into the slew rate, if you give an input like this, okay, then output how much? Output is how? So the output is like this. Means how much it is how much it losses like this. Okay. If the input is signal is like this, then the output is this one. Means this much is losses. Means what? This is the one of the limitation of an op-amp. So the output get distorted if the rate at which the output changes exceeds slew rate. After slew rates, it is going on a output will get output is the low. So consider an op-amp with a slew rate specified in manufacturer's data sheet is how much? 10 volt per microsecond. If you apply a sine wave, okay, if you apply a sine wave with a frequency omega, and amplitude how much? A. A maximum product is how much? Omega into A or A into omega. This is the maximum product gain can be at most 10 volt per microsecond. We have to manufacture it, that is the up to 10 volt it will gives. Then how much that is maximum product? that is a almost at most it is a 10 volt per microsecond before op amp. Then input and output characteristics steps into non-linear regime. Means what? If there is a slew rate in the op amp, then there will be a we are not properly getting the outputs. Okay, slew rate means we have to get the some distortion in the output. So this is about the slew rate of an op amp. Next one, supply voltage rejection ratio, SVRR. The change in an op amp's input offset voltage via input voltage caused by variations in the supply voltage is called as SVRR. So it is a what? The change in an op amps when the input voltage is something, it will be a changes, then variations are happening. If that because of those variations in the op amp, what happens? Whatever the supply voltage is changes. So that is known as a supply voltage rejection ratio. It is expressed in microvolts per volt or decibels. Means it's like a frequency. Means there will be some variations created when we are given the inputs and we are taking the outputs. That is known as supply voltage rejection ratio. So the next one, differential input resistance. See, differential input resistance Ri is equivalent resistance that can be measured at either inverting or non-inverting input terminals with the other terminal connected to the ground. Typical value of 741 IC is a 2 mega ohm. So differential input means what? In the op amp we are giving the two inputs V1 and V2. Okay, we have to get the Ri also here only in V1 or V2, any other input terminals. Okay, when you want to get in the place of V1, Ri you want to get in the place of V1, then V2 should be connected to the ground. Means non-inverting you are using, then you have to connect with the Ri here. Next, this inverting should be grounded. If you want Ri here in inverting, then you should connect this one with the ground. Okay, this is differential input resistance. Next, input capacitance. It is equivalent to the capacitance that can be measured at either inverting or non-inverting input terminals with the other terminal is connected to the ground. Same thing, this and this one. Means if you want to get input resistance and input capacitance, you have to connect any inverting or non-inverting terms, but another one should be connected to the ground. And this is in the value of 2 mega ohm, and this is a little bit here there will be wrong. This is up to 1.4 picofarad. You can write this in notes. 1.4 picofarad, that is capacitance. Okay, next one, gain bandwidth product. The gain bandwidth product is the bandwidth of an op amp when the voltage gain is equals to 1. We will say in transistor that is A beta is equal to 1. Like that here, the gain bandwidth product is the bandwidth of an op amp when the voltage gain is how much? It is equals to the 1. Then you will get the gain bandwidth product. Next one, output voltage swing. This parameter indicates that the value of positive and negative saturation voltage of an op amp. Means in ideal voltage curve I given, that is the saturation up to positive to negative. Means if you want a output in between these two swings, you can calculate the values. You will get the values. So that is this parameter is what? Output voltage swing means what? It is in between the positive and negative saturation. Next one, up to this there will be a op amp parameters. Next is that is op amp configuration. Op amp configuration is different from the parameters. Okay, if you asked the parameters, then you should write all those things in definition form. Then next one is the op amp configuration. In op amp configuration, there is two types. In op amp configuration, you have two types. One type is a open loop op-amp configuration and another one is the closed loop op-amp configuration. Okay, the first one, open loop op-amp configuration. Here there will be a three types. First of all, we will see that is what is open loop op-amp configuration. The term open loop indicates that no feedback. How this one? In transistor I told you, that is without feedback, that is open loop. Then with feedback, that is what? If we given a feedback to the input here, then this one will be a closed loop. It becomes closed loop. If there will be no feedback given to the input, then this is the open loop. Okay, so now you are studying that is open loop configuration. Here there will be a three types. So here there will be a no feedback in any form is fed to the input from the output. From output to input, here we will not give. When connected in open loop, the op-amp function is very high gain amplifier. There are three open loop configurations. First one, differential amplifier. Second one, inverting amplifier. Third one, non-inverting amplifier. Differential, you know that. What is differential? Two input should be given. Means that input should be in the form of difference. Okay, that is differential. Inverting means we have to give the input to the inverting terminal. Next, non-inverting means we have to give the input to the non-inverting terminal. Which one inverting, non-inverting, you know? That is the non-inverting must be positive, inverting must be negative. If you given an input here, then this is non-inverting. If you given an input here, this is a inverting. Then differential means we have to give the both the inputs here, like this. This is differential amplifier. Okay, we will see the explanation. The above classification is based on the number of inputs used and the terminal to which the input is applied. The op-amp amplifies both AC and DC input signals, which amplifies what? AC and DC signals. Thus, the input signals can be either AC or DC. We can use here AC or DC. See first one, differential amplifier. In this configuration, you can see here the diagram. You first see open loop differential amplifier. We not given here any feedback. Correct? Here any feedback we not given. Okay. So output is difference here, different, and this input. See, this is a VI1. Okay, VI1, and this is VI2. Okay, RI1, RI2. So this positive is non-inverting, this is negative is inverting. Okay. Okay. So this is the signal is given to the non-inverting and this signal is given to the inverting, and both must be connected to the ground. Okay. So see here in the explanation, the configuration, the inputs are applied both the inverting and non-inverting. Okay, this is non-inverting, this is inverting. And it amplifies the difference between the two input voltages. Figure shows the open loop differential amplifier configuration. The op-amp amplifies difference between two input voltages. Means what? VI1 minus VI2. Okay. This difference which amplifies the op-amp is known as a differential amplifier. The input voltage are represented by V1 and VI2. The source resistance RI1 and RI2 are negligibly small in comparison with the very high input resistance offered by the op-amp, and thus the voltage drop across these source resistance is assumed to be 0. So these R1 and R2 are the very small, negligibly very small, because this op-amp which gives the resistance is a high. Okay. So thus voltage drop across these source resistance should be how much? 0. Means here this is a negligibly small and this offers the resistance is very high. So the voltage drop these voltage drop across these resistance should be 0 because this is negligibly small. Only the op amp is amplifies high resistance, offered a high resistance. So the output voltage is given by how much? V0 is equal to gain in the bracket Vi1 minus Vi2. So this is what? This is the output. Means this op amp gives the, after giving the inputs with respect to the resistance, we have to get the output as a V0 is equal to A in the bracket Vi1 minus Vi2. So A is the large signal voltage gain. So thus voltage is equal to the voltage gain times the difference between the, this is the definition of this output voltage. Okay, the output voltage is equal to the A times the difference between the two input voltages. This is the reason why the configuration is called differential amplifier. In open loop configuration, the large signal voltage gain A is also called as a open loop gain. Okay, so this is about the differential amplifier. We have to give the both the inputs here to the non-inverting and inverting. Okay, so with respect to the resistance, these are the very small negligible resistances, and this offered a very high resistance. So this voltage drop across this resistance should be 0. Okay, then we get the output as A times of difference of the input voltages. Next one, inverting amplifier. Second one is what? Inverting amplifier. You see in the diagram only it tells that what is inverting amplifier. Okay, non-inverting means plus, inverting means minus. Where we are given the input here for non-inverting or non-inverting, heading it tells that if there is a inverting, then you should give the input to the inverting terminal, means minus. Okay, we have to give the input terminal to the inverting. If there is an inverting amplifier, they asked, then you have to give the input to the inverting terminal, that is minus. Then what about non-inverting terminal? Non-inverting terminal should be grounded. Okay, directly to the ground. And here for a inverting terminal, see, this is inverting terminal is connected to the minus, means this is inverting. This is input is connected to the inverting terminal. Okay, and this is the signal. Don't draw the blank circle here. Okay, this is like signal. Okay, write the signal in that. So understood this one? This is what? A inverting amplifier. Then you will get here output is what? Output V0 is equal to, here there is no difference between the inputs, that is differential amplifier. Here what you have to write? V0 is equal to A, gain of input voltage. Which one is input voltage? This is Vi1 you can write, or Vi2 you can write. This is a, with respect to this inverting terminal, A Vi1, and which having V0 is equal to minus of A Vi1. Why this minus? Means I will tell you here. There is the output voltage is 180 degree out of phase with the respect to the input. Hence the output voltage V0 is given by minus of A Vi1. Thus the inverting amplifier, the input signal is amplified by the open loop gain A and phase shifted by 180 degree opposite to the input signal. Okay, if you given the input like this, then you will get output how? In out of phase, means 180 degree out of phase, means that's why we will get here minus A Vi1 for inverting terminal. Remember the thing, that is for inverting terminal V0 is equal to minus A Vi1. Then what about this V? This V should be connected to ground. So this is inverting amplifier. Next one, non-inverting amplifier. It is easy. The first two you study well, then you will easily write, that is non-inverting amplifier. Non-inverting amplifier means input is given to the non-inverting terminal, then inverting terminal must be in ground. Okay, so this is output, this is load resistance, and this one is Ri. Okay, this is signal source. Okay, here what you have to give the same thing. V0 is equal to output how much? AVI1. Okay, AVI1. Why here not minus? Because here there will be a output is in phase with the input. So here only V0 is equal to AVI1. Okay, read these all explanation. The input signal is amplified by the open loop gain A and the output is in phase with the input signal. Then that's why you will get V0 is equal to A into Vi. Okay, this is non-inverting amplifier. You must read these all. Okay, you must read these all. I will not explain this because you have to study well, because first differential amplifier and inverting amplifier you study, then you will get easily this non-inverting amplifier. Do well study. This is a easy topic. You have to study from the basic thing, then you will get easily this one. What is op amp, parameters and all, ICs. Okay, this is all about open loop amplifier configuration. Then in next video I will tell you that closed loop configurations. These three only: differential amplifier, inverting and non-inverting. It will come in a closed loops. Okay, in closed loops we have to give the from output to input we have to give the feedback. So that is closed loop. That in next class I will tell that. Up to that you have to study well. Thank you students.